They thought we were finished, a backwater species, too fragile, too fractured, too late to matter in the grand design of the galaxy. The Council of Worlds barely noted our existence, recording Earth as nothing more than a minor curiosity. But curiosity turned to disdain, and disdain soon turned to fear. It began on Kepler 62F, a colony world not even 100 years old, barely carved from alien soil. When the Zerth Collective arrived, their intentions were clear: enslavement, extraction, erasure. They had conquered 100 civilizations before us. To them, we were no different. They broadcast a message across the skies: lay down your arms, accept your place. Resistance will only bring extinction. But the people of Kepler didn't kneel. Farmers took up rifles. Engineers forged weapons from mining rigs. Children carried water and food through the ash. For every building the Zerth destroyed, humans rebuilt 2 more. For every man or woman taken, 10 rose to fight. The aliens couldn't understand it. No other species had ever resisted so fiercely after the first strike. The collective escalated. Orbital bombardments reduced cities to craters. Fields turned black. Oceans boiled, and yet humanity endured. From the ashes came stories of defiance. A mother who led refugees through irradiated storms. A boy who hacked alien systems with nothing but salvage tech. A soldier who refused to surrender even after his body failed, dragging himself through the dust to fire one last shot. Word spread, not just among us, but across the galaxy. Other enslaved species, long beaten into submission, began to whisper of humans, a species that fought when all logic said to surrender, a species that did not break. The Zerth, alarmed, doubled their fleet presence. They would not allow defiance to spread. But it was too late. Admiral Kale Ardent led humanity's answer. His fleet was nothing compared to the collective armadas, rusting ships, half-patched cruisers, fighters held together with scrap and sheer stubbornness. But he had something the Zerth did not, a people who would rather die than bow. On the fractured edge of the colony, he gave his order. We are not fighting for land. We are not fighting for conquest. We are fighting because we refuse to be erased, and that is a war we will never lose. The battle raged for 3 days. Alien dreadnoughts poured fire across the skies. Humanity struck back with desperation disguised as genius. They turned asteroids into weapons, space debris into traps, even their own crippled ships into ramming spears. The collective, superior in every metric, found themselves bleeding against an enemy that should not have stood a chance. On the 3rd day, as Kale's flagship burned, humanity unveiled its final gambit. A chain of detonations set the orbiting moons of Kepler into collapse, creating a tidal wave of destruction across the system. Collective fleets were torn apart, caught in a storm of fire and rock. The cost was unimaginable. Half the human fleet was lost. But the Zerth had tasted something they had never known before: defeat. The galaxy listened. For the first time in millennia, an enslaved race had struck back and won. The Zerth retreated, their pride shattered, their empire trembling, and humanity, scarred but unbroken, stood taller than ever before. The council tried to make sense of it. "Why do they fight so hard?" asked one elder. "What drives them?" The answer was simple: because we have always fought impossible battles. Against nature, against ourselves, against time itself. We are a species born of struggle, and struggle has made us unyielding. The day Kepler survived was the day the galaxy changed forever. Humanity was no longer a footnote, no longer a curiosity. We had shown them the truth. We may be fragile, we may be mortal, but we are relentless. And when the galaxy looked upon us with fear, it finally understood. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity does not break. Humanity defies the stars.